D, wait for it, Lightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So sorry I'm taking so long to do this. I had some time right now, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna record this and we'll see what happens. This is my season 3 review of Titans. I just before I get started on this, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine always get pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So Titans season 3. Did I like it? Yes and no. I always feel with Titans that it starts off really strong and then it kind of teeters off in the middle and then it kind of goes downhill a little bit. And then usually the season finale is like not that great. Season 1, yeah, I liked seeing Batman, but like you had the whole like Trigon showed up at the end, but not really, and then it was just like a big mess kind of thing. That had its own behind the scenes thing. Originally, the Doom Patrol were supposed to show up there, and they were supposed to get new outfits and everything. It was supposed to be pretty cool, but what are you gonna do? And then season 2 with that last fight sequence and then Wonder Girl dying by being electrocuted, so ridiculous. And then in this one, I just felt like it just wasn't, the end game for the bad guy, which I'll talk about that when we get to Dr. Crane, but it just wasn't that great. It wasn't that great of a thing. So I'm going to go through this by just going through character by character and just telling you what I thought about them and their story arc in the season and everything. So for the first one I want to talk about is Nightwing. Now, I like Nightwing, and Brandon Thwaites does a really good job as Nightwing, but I have to be honest with you, I'm tired of like the Bat Family. They focused a lot on the Bat Family this season, but they focused on the Bat Family for a lot of all three seasons so far, like a lot of the Bat Family. And I get that because it's cheaper to do that because they don't have to use superpowers. But for me personally, it just got to the point where I'm like, you are putting all these really great characters like Superboy, Beast Boy, Starfire, Raven. You're putting them on the back burner. And I personally am just, I'm just like, I don't like it. And, you have such, such good characters there that have such rich stories that I'm like, why don't you just do a season where you mostly they're the A storyline plot, and Nightwing and the Bat Family are the B plot. I just really wish they would do that at least one season, because I thought this season they would do Starfire on a little bit more on Tamarin. We got the one episode with a couple of scenes, but other than that, no, we didn't get it. So, but Nightwing, I did like him this season. Him blowing kryptonite dust in Superboy's face, to me, is unforgivable. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand that he felt he had to do it, but if I were Superboy, I wouldn't forgive him. That could be deadly to Superboy. Kryptonite could be deadly to Kryptonians. And Nightwing just used that against his friend. And me personally, I'd just be like, no, you betrayed me. I don't know if I can forgive you for that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't get how Superboy could have gave him, but he did. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. You forgave him. That's all on you. Real quick, I want to just touch on Hawk and Dove. I did like Hawk and Dove, but it was a good thing that they left. I know that Alan Richardson, he is going to be on another show. I believe he's the lead on another show. So that's why he left this show. And then when he left, Dove really didn't need to be in there. I do support the whole bringing the cast down as far as numbers wise, because again, they have a budget and they can't really do a lot with superpowers when you have an overwhelming amount of people on the team that have superpowers. And I'll get into those when I talk about those. So now I want to talk about Red Hood. Now, Jason Todd, I did like how they did the Red Hood storyline in the set. I've never liked Jason Todd in the comic books, and I didn't like him on this show. Now, the actor did a fine job. I'm not saying anything about the actor and his performance. I'm saying the character, as far as the character goes, I've never liked this character. So, but I did like the Red Hood storyline. So the fact that they did the Red Hood storyline, but in their own way, I get it. I did like it. I thought they did a good job. Unfortunately, Red Hood was not the main bad guy this season, and that really bummed me out. And I think was, in my opinion, the wrong way to go. I thought that Red Hood should have been the main villain in this season because you were focusing so heavily on the Bat family that I think that having Dr. Crane as the main villain was, in my opinion, a bad choice. If you've ever read that comic book, it's very good. But if you don't want to read the comic book because you don't want to buy it and then deal with reading it and everything, watch the Red Hood animated movie. That one's also very excellent. And I just don't understand why they didn't go that direction and they went with this other direction. And I personally didn't like it. So let's talk about Dr. Crane right now, since I just mentioned him. So I was fine with them bringing him in as a consultant, but really he was just pulling the strings behind the scenes and getting and that's the thing. This season was really good until about episode, I believe it was like 6 or 7, when Dr. Crane was like rescued by Red Hood in the woods when they were in that cabin in the woods, which I was like, what's going on here? After that episode where he was actually saved, I think that's where it started to go downhill as far as this season goes. But I didn't like having Dr. Crane as the bad guy because I'm sorry, like they did the Nomad's Land storyline. And we've seen this in live action before. They did it in The Dark Knight Rises, and then they did it in Gotham. And in both times, I just feel like it was not, and in this one, it was rushed and not good. With The Dark Knight Rises, they tried to fit 2 movies into one because Nolan didn't want to do any more Batman movies. In Gotham, they only had the 1 season. I felt they just tried to shove everything possible in that last season. And then with this one, they did the Nomad's Land, but they did it like the last, like, what was it, like 3 episodes? And so they really had to cram a bunch in there. And I was like, is this really like what we're getting? Like, is this really good? What we're getting as far as the Nomad's Land story? Or No Man's Land story. And then Dr. Crane's ultimate end game, where he just kills everybody in the city with his little gas bombs. I was like, this isn't good. I'm like, this is not original. It's just I just was like, that's it. Okay, so the next one I talk about is Raven. They did not use Raven enough, in my opinion, in this season. She showed up way too late. And when she did show up, I mean, it was good to have her on the team and everything, but I was just like, why aren't we getting more of her? Because I wanted to see more of her, and they just didn't have her there as much. And then when she did show up, like, she showed up in Gotham, and then she only really had a handful of things to do. So I was really like, and it goes back to what I just said before about how these characters that you want to see more of their story is just getting pushed to the back of the line. And I'm just like, come on, like, Raven's a good character. If you let her shine, you could get a lot out of that storyline. But I do think it goes back to budget. They can't afford all these special effects, but they need to get that under control, because Marvel's budget is, they're doing really good with their special effects in their TV shows and their superhero shows. So I really feel like this show needs to step up their game in season 4. Okay, speaking of Raven, I want to talk about Wonder Girl real quick. Again, I'm glad that Donna Troy is back in the real world and not in, heaven world where it's in the woods and stuff, on that train. I don't like those kind of things, like where it's like, oh, we're in your mind, but really we're, this is like a representation of your mind, or this is a representation of the afterlife. And I'm all like, okay, that's great and everything, but I live circa in the real world. So can we get back there now and watch the crime fighters and stuff? I'm glad she's back, because I do like Wonder Girl and I do like Donna Troy, and I'm interested to see where they take her. But yeah, that's that on that. Beast Boy, man, did Beast Boy get the shaft in this season? Man, talk about benched. Oh my goodness. First off, I've had enough of them not giving Beast Boy more transformations. I mean, they did it in this one where he turned into a bat, but I really want Beast Boy to step up as far as character development goes, and as far as him getting to shine. Him and Raven and Starfire got a little bit more this season. Those two did, but Raven and Beast Boy and Superboy, but Raven and Beast Boy for sure need to get more screen time next season. I'm not even playing. Like, that's not even like a question. They need to, because you guys have like they literally just let them just sit on the sidelines this season, especially Beast Boy. I mean, he kind of shined in that last episode, but I mean, so it's the last episode and everything. So more Beast Boy, more transformations into creatures. Like I just want to see him become, other animals, moving over to Superboy. I like Superboy. But again, they budget wise, I don't think they're using his powers as much as they could. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, I would really like to see him and his relationship with either Superman or Lex Luthor. I really liked that they brought Bruce Wayne in to this show. I don't like the actor they picked, but whatever. Ian Glenn, is that his name? He's too old. He's too old. I thought they'd pick somebody that was more like in their mid to late 40s, not someone that was 60. But I really would like to see that kind of, that push and pull of him trying to get to know his dads. And I think that would be really interesting as far as this show goes, because I know this takes place on a parallel universe. It's not, Earth 1 or anything, but it would just be really interesting. And I'd like, and they don't even have to do Superman. They could do like they did with Batman, where it's just Bruce Wayne. You can just have Clark Kent come in, and you don't see Superman. You just see Clark Kent. Same thing with Lex Luthor. You don't see Lex Luthor. Well, Lex Luthor doesn't have any powers, but you just see him show up and they chit chat and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, son," and everything. And it would just be really interesting. And I'll talk about this a little bit more, but his relationship with Blackfire, I didn't mind it that much, but I'll talk about it more with Blackfire, but I just didn't, I mean, it really didn't bother me at all. Like, I mean, they were kind of cute and everything. He did kind of play like he was like, second fiddle to her. Like he was kind of a pussy boy a little bit, like all like, oh, she was my first, so I'm in love. And I'm all like, gaga, goo goo for Cocoa Puffs and everything. I'm all like, get out of here, that nonsense. Like I got it. She was your first, so you're in love with her, but calm it down, sister. All right, so now I want to talk about Starfire and Blackfire. Now, I'll talk about Starfire first. First off, Anna Diop is doing a great job. I love her. She's great. I mean, pretty much everybody is doing a good job. And everybody on the show is so freaking good looking. It's ridiculous. This should be called the Good Looking People TV show, because everybody on here is like hot and they're all young and like pretty and shit. And I'm all like, man. But anyway, so Starfire. I love when she uses her powers. She just doesn't use her powers enough. I want to see her fly also. That'd be cool. They haven't touched on that, I mean, they kind of did that this episode or season when she floated and then everything. I didn't hate when you found out that she got her powers from her sister Blackfire when she was born, but I didn't like it. Like, I wasn't like, this is BS or anything, but I wasn't like, like, yay and everything, because I did think that Blackfire not having powers was ridiculous. But Starfire going forward, I just, I would like to see more of her on Tamarin. And I mean, I know that's budget wise, that's going to maybe cost a little bit more, but again, maybe cut down on your peoples, or maybe just have her in, a handful of episodes like you did with Raven and Beast Boy, but have her on Tamarin with that whole political structure and everything going on there. As far as Blackfire goes, now I did like Blackfire. Now I know her costume was comic books accurate, like the original one, but I'm sorry, it looked ridiculous. She looked very too much Power Rangers villainy to me. And I don't know what they could do. Like, she looked better in the concept. Maybe it was her hair, because she looked way better in the concept art than she did on this show, with the ponytail. So maybe it was her hair that changed it up, but it just didn't look as good as I thought it was going to. But as far as her goes, if she does come back for season 4, I don't want her to be a good guy anymore. I think it's way better that she's a villain, because I think that you get that contrast of Starfire and Blackfire. One is like this, well, Starfire is not really innocent in the show, but in the comic books and stuff, she's more like this innocent kind of like, and so is I mean, on the Titans shows, the Teen Titans shows, she's like this innocent kind of girl from Tamarin, and Blackfire's like this, oh, I want power kind of thing. So I'm not mad that she wasn't a villain in this season, but I wish she was a villain. Going back to also Superboy blowing up her ship. I don't know how she could forgive him for that and everything. I mean, they kind of fix it in the end, kind of. It was a little like tacked on there, but with her ship being rebuilt. But I would have been pissed if he blew up my ship, and I don't understand. Everybody's forgiven everybody in this show. Back on to Red Hood, they didn't forgive him, but he betrayed them also. Barbara Gordon, like Barbara Gordon. I thought she was great. I thought it was a great new twist on the character. I would have liked to have seen her as Batgirl, not gonna lie. But that was fine. You know, her in the wheelchair fighting was good. It did seem a little too choreographed in my opinion, but it was super fun seeing her that she could take her own, even though she was in a wheelchair. So I liked that. She was like thum, 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 with her little bantha sticks and everything. Tim Drake. I found this character to be a little bit annoying and a little bit stalkery, too much for my taste, in all honesty. I'm not saying anything about the actor. Again, the actor did fine, but like when he like in the last episode when he drop kicked that police officer and they're like, I didn't know you had it in you and everything. And I'm all like, I mean, okay, like whatever. And then he had his whole Robin cave, and his parents didn't know about that. Those were bad parents. They weren't very good parents. I'm like, how did you not know your kid had a whole stalker cave? Like, how did you not know that? So yeah. So overall, this season was, like I said, the beginning of it was really good. I enjoyed it up until about when they got Crane out of custody, and then he started his whole little plot. Everything before that, I thought it was good. It just kind of teetered off and then kind of just went downhill and everything. But I hope that they remedy these things and they fix it for the next one. I do a what to do in season 4, but I don't have time for that nonsense. But yeah. So tell me, you guys, what did you guys think about this season? Did you like this season? Did you not like this season? Was there anything you would have changed, going forward? Are you like me and they should have done more with the other characters besides Nightwing and the Bat family? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys, on my next review. You guys have a good day. Bye.